In the autumn chill of 1942, deep within the concrete bowels of the Tokyo Naval Intelligence Bureau, a faint scent of ink and cigarette smoke mingled with tension so thick it could have been cut with a bayonet. Commander Hiroshi Watanabe, a mathematician turned spy, stared at the telex machine, sputtering its latest message from Stockholm. Each line that emerged carried data that made his pulse quicken and his loyalty tremble. The message was from a trusted Swedish intermediary codenamed Birch. It contained American industrial production figures that, if true, would overturn every assumption upon which the Empire of Japan had built its war strategy. Liberty ships, Birch wrote, one completed every 3 days, soon every day. The words seemed absurd. The Japanese shipyards in Yokosuka, Kure, and Nagasaki combined could not launch one major vessel in under 4 months. Yet, according to multiple sources in neutral ports, the Americans were assembling ships in vast prefabricated sections, welding them together with unheard-of speed, turning raw steel into ocean-crossing freighters faster than Japan could repair one torpedoed hull. Watanabe rose from his desk and crossed the silent hall to Admiral Takagi's office. Inside, the aging strategist sat beneath a framed portrait of Admiral Togo. His eyes flicked up as Watanabe entered. "Another exaggeration from the Americans?" Takagi asked dryly. Watanabe hesitated. "Sir, the information comes from 3 separate sources: Swedish, Portuguese, and our attaché in Buenos Aires. They report identical production numbers." Takagi snorted. "Our Emperor's warriors win battles through spirit, not machinery. Westerners worship factories as gods. They think steel can defeat courage." Yet, as the months dragged on, courage proved a poor match for mass production. The Pacific Ocean began to fill with new ships, tankers, destroyer escorts, aircraft carriers, each bearing the insignia of a nation that seemed to run on endless fuel, infinite manpower, and relentless motion. At Pearl Harbor, America had 8 battleships. By mid-1943, she had over 50 carriers in various stages of completion. In secret meetings, Japanese naval engineers whispered of impossible photographs, hundreds of hulls lined along American docks, cranes the size of temples lifting entire ship sections into place like toys. By early 1944, Japanese intelligence obtained shocking data from Lisbon. The United States was producing more merchant tonnage in 1 month than Japan had constructed in the previous 5 years. In the margins of the report, Watanabe scribbled a note to himself: "We are fighting arithmetic itself." Meanwhile, in San Francisco, the Kaiser shipyards worked day and night under floodlights so bright they could be seen from miles away. Men and women, many of them immigrants, black workers from the South, and newly trained women welders, labored in teams that never stopped. Rosie the Riveter's cousins in coveralls, wielding torches and laughter, built the steel veins of an empire. Back in Tokyo, Watanabe presented updated figures. "Admiral, they now produce an escort ship every 10 days and a Liberty ship every 5. Their shipyards never sleep." Takagi slammed his fist on the table. "Lies! Americans are lazy, soft. Their factories are propaganda." "Sir," Watanabe said quietly, "if propaganda could sink our convoys, we'd already be drowning." The Admiral glared at him. "You speak dangerously, Commander. Remember your place." But by late 1944, Watanabe no longer needed to speak. The Pacific was speaking for him. Japan's convoys, lifelines carrying oil from Borneo and food from China, were being annihilated. American submarines, built by the dozens each month, prowled the shipping lanes with mathematical precision. Every new ship Japan launched seemed to meet a torpedo within weeks. Still, official Tokyo refused to believe. Reports of 100,000-ton monthly steel output were dismissed as Allied psychological warfare. American newspapers boasting of Liberty ships faster than bullets were considered fabrications. In December 1944, a captured American pilot, interrogated in Manila, mentioned his sister working as a welder in Oregon. She had built parts for 5 ships. 5 ships? The interrogator laughed. Impossible, the pilot replied. Lady, there are thousands like her. After the war, when the surviving Japanese intelligence officers were questioned by the Allies, they admitted the truth. Watanabe's files had contained accurate reports on American production, but every warning he sent up the chain had been stamped with the same red seal. Dismissed. American exaggeration. In 1946, American occupation officers touring the ruins of the Yokosuka Naval Arsenal found a file marked Operation Tetsu no Yume, Dream of Steel. Inside were hundreds of intercepted reports, charts and photographs of American shipyards. Everyone correct, everyone ignored. The Americans had built 2,710 Liberty ships, 151 escort carriers, and thousands of destroyers and submarines. Japan's once proud fleet had been reduced to rusting hulks in shallow bays. A U.S. historian later wrote, Japan's defeat at sea was sealed not in battle, but in belief. They failed to believe that freedom could outbuild fear. Years later, an elderly Hiroshi Watanabe stood at the Yokohama waterfront, watching merchant ships sail under the flags of dozens of nations. We thought war was about courage, he said softly to an American journalist beside him, but courage without comprehension is suicide. They fought with machines, but also with minds open to change. We fought with myths. The journalist asked, Do you regret serving your emperor? Watanabe smiled sadly. No, I regret serving ignorance. In the golden reflection of the Pacific, freighters rumbled toward open sea. Steel giants born of democracy, diversity, and relentless innovation. The lesson lingered in the salt air. Reality does not yield to ideology. Ships do not care who builds them. And arithmetic always wins.